Hey comic book fans, welcome to the Comic Fix, your one-stop shop for every single thing DC Comics, to some creator-owned, to a little bit Marvel. My name's David, welcome to the Comic Fix. So in this video, I'm going to be doing my Bat Family books that came out this week. Starting things off with Catwoman, Death of the Family Prelude, issue number 13. So, one thing I gotta say about this issue. Ann Nocenti is now a part of this book. She's the writer. She's the writer of a little-known book called Green Arrow. As you know, Green Arrow has been one of the worst books in the New 52. And with that, I was just like, wow, Ann Nocenti's going to be on this book. This book's going to be going to hell. Well, let me tell you. She did a really good job in this issue. Brought some really cool stuff, elements to this book, and I am shocked. I am now officially, convinced that the Green Arrow's problem is the editorial team and not Ann Nocenti herself. So, in this issue, somebody is going behind the scenes to remind Selina Kyle on her failures to protect the people closest to her. She also gets the job to play the craziest game of chess you have ever seen. So, I thought the premise was really cool. You see her in the beginning, just, on this catwalk, and a present comes to her. And I really, at the get-go, I like this artist. And the present is of a toy that one of her friends had. And it's just so cool. You see the Joker in the background, just messing with Selina Kyle. And unlike Batgirl, the Death of the Family Prelude that was in Batgirl, this one actually has the focus point on the Joker and him messing with her from afar. And she does not know this yet. She does not know the Joker's back in town. So it's really cool to see the Joker just messing with her so much. And with that, with him messing with her, you get all these crazy art of Selina Kyle just going, her mind's racing. Who is doing this? And with that, the artwork just flows so well with her just thinking, who is doing this to me? And her kind of losing her mind a little bit. Who would want to hurt her this bad? And with that, the art just goes crazy. And it's just really cool to see. And the pages just go so well together. And you just feel like you're losing the mind with Catwoman. Eventually, Catwoman, and one of the parts that I would just I don't know if I like this part, but there's a part in there where a robot puts the face of Catwoman over Gotham, just like how they do with the bat signal. And there's a little girl that goes, "Look, Mommy, a big creepy cat in the sky." And the mother replies, "Come on, Earl," Tisk, your crazy imagination. Now, don't they know they live in Gotham? I mean, Gotham's a place where we got the bat signal going on all the time. Why can't there be a cat signal going on? But there's a lot of cool things to see in this book. Especially one of my favorite parts was just this little scene where you got Catwoman just thinking about who's messing with me. And you see the court jesters all around her as she's thinking about it. And she doesn't know it yet, but the Joker's back in town. He's just messing with her so much. And I'm going to be very interested to see where it goes from here. Now on to some of the bad. The bad parts of this whole book was the lacking story elements in the chess game. I felt the chess game was very bland and forgettable. But the parts with the Joker, which is so interesting, and you just see that Ann Nocenti had a story to tell, but she kind of just didn't care about the storyline with Catwoman and the job that she's doing with this crazy game of chess. But the artist just picks up this book and just runs with it, and every single part of just her and what the Joker's doing to her, just so cool and so awesome stuff here. Then there's the really bad. I really like how DC Comics has been trying to make Catwoman a book for the females to look at and be like, ah, that's who I want to be, and that's, you know, who I want to look up to. But then you get art like this, where it's just like over-sexualized, and you're just like, really? Come on, people. You guys are trying to make her as a female, a person that females could look up to and be like, that's a cool superhero. But then you got shots like this that just make you, what the hell? I mean, I really don't like shots like this that just over-sexualize that person, and not in a way that's natural or, you know, feels like this is for a reason. It's just to show her ass in a very, you know, sexualized pose. I'm just like, really, people? But there are a lot of good things to be had in this issue, and I just love the artist. The artist did a fantastic job. Anna Cindy did a really cool job. It was just the lacking points of the crazy chess game that just really was lacking for me. So in the end, I give Catwoman issue number 13 a 3.5 out of 5. And I really cannot wait to see what happens in the Catwoman series. Oh, and also, I got a theory. That when Catwoman goes and pops this balloon that Joker sent her, I do think that there was some toxin in there, and that was the reason why the artist represented all this craziness that happened after it with the Joker and how she's messed with their mind. I think that's the reason why we saw those crazy flash pages and just how diluted everything looked, and just, I do think that she's been poisoned by the Joker. So I'm really interested to see where the series goes. This was definitely a better prelude than Batwoman or Batgirl's prelude, and I am really digging and sending on this book. So good stuff, good stuff. Next up is Nightwing issue number 13. The storyline is, usually when the Joker is in town, the local crime bosses and masked wannabes take the advantage of the distraction the Joker provides of the cops and Batman. But not tonight. Tonight the streets of Gotham are quiet. Why are they so quiet? Well, Lady Shiva's in town. And when Lady Shiva's in town, somebody's going to be assassinated, and they cannot stop it. So, I thought the premise was really cool. It's like, why is everything so quiet in Gotham? And Gotham's never quiet. And to see Lady Shiva is in town, just goes, alright, cool. Some really cool fight scenes are going to happen. And does it happen? No. The bad parts I really just disliked about this story was the way that the book flowed. The book flowed at the beginning, giving us a who is in town that's making all the people in Gotham just run for the hills. And then we find out who the person is in the middle. And then in the last one, we got no payoff. And so with that no payoff, I was just like, what? Really? I have to wait for issue number 14 to get the payoff? And if I don't, oh, I'm going to be so angry with this issue or with this series. And with this issue, we got Tom DeFalco on as the guest writer. And I'm not a big fan of Tom DeFalco. I'm not really digging the stuff that he's been doing with the New 52, like what I think he did with, he's doing now with Superboy. Don't like it. And he does the Legion Lost stuff. I didn't really care for that either. So I thought he actually did a pretty good job of setting up the whole issue. And I liked the voice he had for Dick Grayson. And the artist in there does a really good job as well. And I liked his artwork. And I would actually like to see him become a regular artist on this book. Because I actually liked the way he drew Nightwing and how acrobatic he was, and I thought he had a good vision for who Nightwing was, or is. But there is one scene I thought was really cool. There's a scene where Dick goes to Haley's Circus. And if you did not know, Haley's Circus, they're building a placed for it in Gotham, and all the people that were part of the Haley Circus before are now leaving. But there's a little scene in there where Dick has a new aerial act, who people want to become part of his act, and there's a little girl in there, and it reminds us so much of Dick at that age when he lost his parents, and it was just like it was just so cool to see, and just to see the way he reacted to her and her child just curiosity was really cool. And I just really thought that Tom DeFalco brought a little extra element to this book with just that one scene, which was really cool. And then there's also a point in there where Nightwing bumps into Batgirl, and in this part it tells us this is after issue number 14. And in this issue we see a different Batgirl than we saw in Gail Simone's issue number 13, where this Batgirl, she's taking no BS. She knows the Joker's in town, and no one's going to get her away of finding Joker. That's her mission. And it seems like she's willing to kill the Joker for all the stuff that he's done to her. Now, what did he do to her in issue number 14 just to make her snap? Because we do know that he did do all the stuff they did in The Killing Joke. So, it's going to be really, really cool to see what's going to be happening in the Batgirl series, and I hope the payoff there is really good, because I just got this a different vibe from her in this issue, which saying that it was after issue number 14 of Batgirl. But as I said in the beginning of this review, the bad part which is the storytelling, which is really, there was no payoff, and with that being no payoff, I really just didn't get anything out of this book except for a couple scenes. And Lady Shiva, they've been telling me you're a badass. I have never read a book with you in there, so I'm really excited to see you. But you just didn't even show up in this book. You may have showed up for one panel, but that was it. So in the end, I'm going to give Nightwing issue number 13 a 2 out of 5. Hopefully, in the next issue, we get a big old fight scene with Lady Shiva, because I've heard, as I was reading on the wiki, that Lady Shiva is one of the best fighters in the whole DC universe, and that she's like the only ones that are better than her are like Deathstroke and Batman. So there's gonna be some really cool stuff in this book coming up. I know it, but the payoff in this issue, just not worth it. Next up, we got Birds of Prey issue number 13. So I gotta give you guys a little backstory. This lady right here, Katana, her sword has a spirit of every person that she's killed in it, or everybody that's been killed by that sword. And also her husband's spirit is in that sword. And through the New 52, her husband's been talking to her. All the other birds though think that she's crazy. Well, she's going out, and Katana's sword has been stolen. So it's up to the birds to get the sword, and what they do to get the sword back will shock you. I mean, it shocked me. I was just like, holy shit. Really? Is that what you're going to be doing? Oh, man. And one thing that Dwayne Stasinski has been doing with this whole entire series is that with each story arc, he has been having one of the birds as the focal point of the story arc. In the first one, it was Black Canary. The second one, it was Poison Ivy. The third one, it's Katana. And Katana's been the one I've been the most interested with in Birds of Prey. And I thought she was a little bit the most underdeveloped one. Well, we're getting some development from her in this issue. And I like the way that the birds are just like, when Katana comes to him, being like, someone stole my sword. I need to get it back. And you see the birds, they just got done with their big old fight with Poison Ivy, and they're like licking their wounds. They're just like, we can't go anywhere. I mean, we just got our ass handed to us by Poison Ivy. Do we really? We can't go out and go and face the Dagger Clan. So, and I just love the idea that Katana's like, okay, forget you guys, I'm gonna go get it myself. Well, eventually the birds go and help out one of their own. And I like what Dwayne Stasinski does in this issue. When a fight scene happens, usually in comics, there's a bunch of talking that happens. Not in this issue. This issue, we get the action with no talking whatsoever. And I absolutely love this splash page. I thought this splash page was really cool. And I love Katana now. But you see, all the action scenes, they let the artwork do the talking instead of having some writing in there. So it's really, really cool stuff. And the artist in here does a fantastic job. A lot better than the artist that they had on the Poison Ivy arc. Because the Poison Ivy arc, the guy who they had doing the artwork, the artist just did not fit in that type of setting. And he was the artist that did Animal Man for the first 8 issues. And then he went on to Birds of Prey, and it just didn't fit. Well, now this artist is on, and everything fits and flows so beautifully. And we are introduced into a new character in the DC universe, or reintroduced, and that's Condor. His points in there are so cool. I really did enjoy this book, and definitely one of the best issues in the Birds of Prey series as of yet. Oh, and one other thing is that usually when I read a comic the first time, just for my enjoyment, the second time is to critique it for the show. I didn't notice the first time around, but the second time, Batgirl's outfit is different than the one that she has in her own series of Batgirl. This one that's represented in this issue is the one that's represented in the Zero issue. So I'm wondering, is this intentional for Batgirl to have a different outfit than what she has in a regular series? If so, that's cool, but I just wonder if that was a little mistake by the artist. Because it's been shown throughout the issue, so I don't think it was a mistake, but it was a cool little thing I noticed while reading it. So if you're ever interested in Katana and want to know more about her, because she is going to be in the Justice League of America, go and pick this book up, find out a little bit more about the history of Katana, and just know that you're coming in for a good time. So in the end, I give Birds of Prey issue number 13 a 3 out of 5. Second book is Red Hood and the Outlaws issue number 13, or as I like to call it, the new Teen Titans. So Starfire has been trying to free her people from the Blight. In this issue, we get the climax of that story arc and a battle with Starfire and the High Lord of the Blight. Just know there's so much action in this issue. The great things about this issue is the layouts. The layouts for every single page are just so unique and so cool, and they just blow up the action sequences so much with how the book is laid out. Everything flows together so well. The artist and the writer are working so well together. It's so cool to see just a little different flavor in the DC universe. This is just a sci-fi epic that you did not expect from a Red Hood and the Outlaws book. I mean, Red Hood, you would expect him to be in Gotham. Well, no, he's in outer space. He's dealing with Starfire and all her problems. And it gives so much life to this series. Starfire has been a character I just absolutely hated in the New 52. I thought she's just a sex symbol. And then I do believe Scott Liddell was hearing that all the time. He's like, she's not just a sex symbol. She's a commander. She's a badass. In this issue, or in this whole story arc, he shows that. I now look at Starfire in such a different way. He has turned around Starfire in this whole New 52. And I love her new outfit. I love the representation that he has of her. She's such a powerful female character that you see that girls can actually look up to her, and males, and just know that she is one of the most powerful characters, I think, in the whole DC universe. Just seeing how she goes off on the Blight is so cool. And just to see the power that she has. And there's one awesome part in there where she finally goes off. And Roy Harper, who's narrating the whole entire book, is just like, as I was having sex with her, I always wondered, how powerful she can actually be, because she always is holding back. And then she finally goes off, and he's like, I am more turned on than ever. And just the writing was just so, it was funny, it was action-packed, it was a damn good issue. And it just revitalized Starfire in my eyes, because as I said in the beginning, I did not like Starfire. I thought she was just a sex symbol. I remember the first time I ever read a Starfire book, or one that she was in, was 52. And just seeing the Starfire with just that naked girl that was in there. And so, to see this new Starfire, it's just really rejuvenizing. And Scott Liddell, you're doing an awesome job on this book. May not be doing as awesome job on the Teen Titans or anything like that, but hopefully you bring this enthusiasm to Superman and Red Hood and the Outlaws, issue number 13. If you're looking for such a cool story arc with Starfire, look no further than this issue. So I give this issue a 4 out of 5. One other thing I gotta say is that with it being an issue that came after the Zero issue, Scott Liddell does a pretty good job at introducing the characters, and you usually want to think that, especially with it being the end of a story arc. But no, he actually made it quite new reader friendly with telling who the characters are, what they're up against, and where they've been. So some cool stuff in this issue. If you're not reading Red Hood and the Outlaws and you thought to yourself, I remember when it first started, it was not that good, just know, since the whole Starfire story arc, it's got really good. So I would recommend people go try this book out and see if you like it. If you like it, like I do, go and pick it up. So the last book of the week is Batwoman, issue number 13, and another issue with Wonder Woman in it. As if you guys did not know, Wonder Woman was one of my least favorite characters in the DC universe. Not because she was bad, I just didn't. I didn't like her stories that were being told, so I didn't read her. Well, in the New 52, I decided to give her a try, and she's become my absolute favorite character in the DC universe. Now, the art in here is just so gorgeous. I mean, just everything about this issue. I probably looked at this issue for so long, just like getting every little detail out of it. The storyline is that Batwoman needs to go and find what's her name? The lady that has the snakes in her hair, and if she looks at you, she's going to turn you to stone. Oh, I forget her name, but she's going after this one Greek goddess. So it's up to Wonder Woman to help her find her, and what they find is just all hell. I was more interested in the whole artwork than the story. I mean, the whole parts with the centipede is just so gorgeous. And you would think with all this writing and it's not being a traditional looking comic, that would be hard to follow. It is not. It's just gorgeous. And I cannot wait to see his artwork on the Sandman series that's going to be coming out. I was just so enthralled with the art in this issue. I mean, I could just look at it for hours and hours and find new things with it. Definitely one of the most interesting books in the whole DC Universe line. Oh, now I remember. It was Medusa. They're going after, looking for Medusa, and they're going looking at her for her in a prison that just like Arkham for the gods. So, such a cool story. I mean, the representation of the gods in this issue are just so cool. And there's one scene I really do like, is that there's a point in there where Batwoman is talking to Wonder Woman, saying, I have seen a god bleed, and I know if anything goes wrong, I can kill you. So my video camera is about to die, so I'm going to end it here with Batwoman, a 5 out of 5. My name's David, this is The Comic Fix, and I'll see you guys next time. And I got one question for you. With how the preludes have been going with the Bat family books, are you worried? Or are you saying, okay, it's going to be okay? So, my name's David, this is The Comic Fix, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm sorry I cut this video really short. It was just my video camera is about to die. So I'll see you guys later.